Hello everybody. Today we're going to be doing our first episode of the Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. We're going to be going through the very first area, the tutorial area, and then we're going to go through the second area, the High Wall of Lothric. I'm going to show you how to get the items and the best path to take through the areas. Alright, let's get started.
Yes, indeed.
We are going to skip this. It's going to be simple and go walk through. Alright, as far as what we need here, this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter. For your class, I say go with the warrior, because his weapon will allow you to one-shot most things. It'll allow you to one-shot everything in the first area, and two-shot most things in the second area. For your burial gift, this hero gives you a health boost that'll fully restore your health, fully restore your FP. That's a more powerful firebomb. This is good, but at the same time it removes your scaling for your weapons, so it'd be good for a weapon that you don't plan to use long term, but I wouldn't recommend taking it as your starting gift. This here gives you a fairly decent amount of souls, and it allows you to level up a little bit extra at the very beginning. This here will boost your item discovery. This is for online play invading, and this here is the one that I would recommend you take because it makes it where you don't have to go a certain direction in the third area. Now, we're not going to mess with this. We're just going to go basic. It does not matter. Alright, once you spawn in, you don't have to, but I'm going to. I always two-hand here. For this very first part of this, you don't have to. It doesn't matter. If you feel more comfortable keeping your shield out, go ahead and keep your shield out here. If you want to come over here straight away after killing that guy and get your first soul item, you'll want to collect as many of those as you can in these first couple areas because it'll get you a lot of levels. As far as killing everything out here, I'm going to, just because it gets us more souls. Again, you don't have to, but it allows you to get more levels early on. Even though it seems like they don't give you a whole lot, it adds up relatively quickly. Watch out for him shooting fire arrows. And there's a guy around this corner. Alright. Alright, so we're coming over here. And over here you've got this giant crystal lizard. They give you Titanite scales, which you need to upgrade boss weapons, and it's a tougher enemy for this area. I wouldn't recommend going after it if you're a beginner. And over here you have a soul item. Like I said, we'll come back here later when we need to, but at the moment we just don't. So instead of going out there, what we're going to do is come straight through from there, and we're going to go up here to the left. And that's where you'll find your first bonfire. For some reason in this game they put bonfires literally everywhere, and it just becomes a pain after a while. Now this area, if you're not two-handing your axe, you will not one-shot. But so long as you're two-handing, everything will get one-shot. This guy here is another one that shoots the fire arrows. The guy hiding back here in this corner. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to take out all the enemies in this area, and then we'll go for the items. You can run down that little path right there, but it's easier to get behind this shield guy and go straight for him. Because this guy's shield is... You're meant to run down there, get stuck on him, and then this one shoots you. So if you drop off the way that I did, you won't get shot. So as you saw, I picked up some fire bombs down there. You get 5 of them right off the bat. You can use them on the upcoming boss, because in his second phase he's weak to fire. But you don't really need to, and if you save them, then you can use them later for some enemies that give you good drops. Alright, your first Titanite shard, as you just saw, come straight that way and run and jump off of that rock. You'll want to land on this coffin here. Because if you're down here, if you miss it, you will not be able to get it and you'll have to try again. Alright, as we come in here, we're going to go ahead and go into our inventory and we're going to take off the young white branch and the ashen estus because we don't need them. Throughout this run, we won't be using a whole lot of FP, so we won't actually have the ashen estus out at all. I'm coming over here to show this. Before this fight, you cannot open this door. You don't get a key or anything, it's just magic. And that door just will not open. What you gotta do is come over here and remove this sword from Judith's Gundir. I recommend go ahead and do your warrior cry. You get a little bit of extra damage. He is parryable, but unless you're good at parrying, I wouldn't. This is phase 2, he gets a few extra moves, and he's just more of a pain, but if you follow the steps that I said, like make sure you get the war cry, always go to his left, you should be pretty good. Alright, these first couple of bonfires, before you get to Firelink, you're not going to be able to do anything at. So, they're fairly useless at the moment. But right now, what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and collect all the items here at Firelink. We'll take out the enemies, collect all these items, and then we'll head inside and we'll go to the next area. When you first open the door, you come up on this. This here is just your broken straight sword hilt. It's fairly useless. You get a shield guy. And they're literally meant to try and knock you off of this cliff. You can come back here and get you a homeward bone. The homeward bone in this game is a little different than the others. In Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, they only take you back to the last bonfire that you rested at. In this game, it gives you the option to go back to the shrine with the homeward bone, which is quite useful. There we go. Go ahead and do this. It isn't needed, but we will. There is one more kind of hidden enemy out here. He's completely pointless. Like I said, you don't have to take out any of these guys. I'm only doing it because I can. I always just kick him off the ledge because it's kind of funny. Alright. So now we are going to go inside. There's more out here, but we're doing something else first. Jump straight down here. If you come in straight, you're in the perfect position to place the sword. We'll go ahead and rest. And I see a lot of people go ahead and level up. We're not doing that yet. You've got your handmaiden there. She's your first merchant. And there's Andre the blacksmith. Here's Hawkwood. He's your basic crestfallen knight from the other games. A little bit different for him in this game. He actually has a quest line. We will not be completing the quest line in this walkthrough, but he does have one. Alright, so once you've come in here and placed your sword and rested to get your Estus back, you're going to come back up here like you're going to go back out, but we're going to the left. We're going to go out through here. You can see this here callback from Dark Souls 2. This tree, later on after you get invaded a few times, will drop a few trees of a seed of giant. Seed of a tree of giant, sorry. Right here we get our next soul item. And then we're going to do, it's a fairly simple thing. All you do is you run up this tree and you jump to get on the roof. So that's what we're going to do. It might take a few tries. It usually takes a few tries. Because you have to have your angling just right. But you want to do it because there are good items up there. Like you can see that one right there is a... that one's a homeward bone. I think it's 3 actually. And then inside there is something that'll give you more Estus. So you definitely want to get up here. I'll probably cut this part out. Oh, never mind. It didn't take that long. Alright. Yeah, you get 2 homeward bones there. Then you're going to come in here. Well, yeah, we'll go over here first. So over here, you've got, where'd he go? There he is. That is the Sword Master. He's an NPC that we can summon later, so long as we have killed him here. Around the back, you get this crystal lizard that you definitely want to kill. It gives you 1 twinkling titanite. And once you come up here the first time to get this stuff, you don't really need to come back this way again. Like, you only need to do the tree skip 1 time. So long as you don't mess up and fall or anything like that. I don't know what just happened there. Alright, we're going to come across the rafters up here. You come up to your trade place. You can give them several things. What I always give them is a homeward bone to get an armor piece, and you can get a titanite slab for something later. Like, they have some good trades, but you don't have to do it. But you definitely want to come across there, roll through that illusory wall, and get this chest. This chest holds your silver serpent ring. It allows you to gain more souls from enemies. Then we'll go back out here. This guy here is Ludlith of Coraland. He is the one that you get your boss weapons from later on in the game. You have to get to the 3rd area and kill the boss of that area before he can actually make the weapons for you. And we will be using some boss weapons in this walkthrough. Most specifically, we're going to use, I believe, Vort's Hammer and the Dragon Slayer Knight's Axe are the 2 that I believe we'll be using. Alright, here you want your shield out. because this guy is a pain to fight, but if you come over here, just get right on the edge of this, he will fall to his death off that cliff. And you'll come up here, get to this door, turn around, and you'll quit out. Alright, then we're going to go right back in. Doing that just makes it where the items that were on his body will respawn to where he was standing. And you'll get the Uchi Katana, the Master's Attire, and the Master's Glove. The Uchi Katana is fairly good for a dex build, like starting off. Alright, we're going to go up this way. These two won't bother you right now, unless you go touch that item, which we are about to go do. So we're going to go ahead and take them down. Over here, and we're going to grab the East-West shield. It is a fairly crappy shield, but if you start with something with a bad shield, this one here has 86% guard absorption, this one is 55%. There's only a couple things that is better than, but it does have good magic resist, decent fire and lightning and dark. Like, it's not bad. But as far as physical defense, it's not the best. Alright, we're going to come over here and we're going to grab our first Ember. Ember gives you more health, and if you are low on health, it will give you a full heal. Over here we get a couple more Homeward Bones. Oh, one more Homeward Bone. And then right here, not that first little nook here, this is death. But if you come back here to the other side of that tree, and you drop down, you'll get another Ember. And a dog. And that is all the items here in Firelink. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to her. And we're going to sell our two of those. We've got one of these, one of these. We're going to sell the Uchi Katana for now, because we don't need it. We're going to sell this. The Master's Attire. It's nothing we have right now is really worth a whole lot except for our embers, which we are going to hang on to, just in case we die. As far as purchasing, she sells embers, repair powder. She sells a few standard weapons. And she's got your base chainmail set.
Ashen one.
Now what we're going to do, let's come over here to Andre. You can reinforce your weapons. You can infuse them with stuff like that fire gem that I showed at the beginning in your burial gifts. You can repair your equipment. You typically won't need to unless it gets fully broken, because when you sit at the bonfire in this game, it automatically repairs all your weapons, your armor, everything. But right now what we want to do is we want to allot our Estus, and we want to reinforce the Estus flask. That's taking that Estus shard that we got out of the rafters, and it's giving us an extra Estus.
Pretty, be careful.
Alright. So now what we want to do is finally we want to level.
Very well, then taken.
Alright. I recommend going straight for 20 vigor and 10 dex.
Farewell, Ashen One.
That'll give you a pretty decent sized health boost for the beginning of the game. And this here is for something that we'll find in the third area. You can attune your spells here, you can organize your storage box. Right now we're going to go to the high wall of Lothric. going out the door. And we're just immediately going off of this. There is an area here that I'm going to show you where you will need those fire bombs that we got earlier. I'm going to do something. Give myself a little bit faster roll. There we go. It doesn't affect anything other than your defense. So if you feel like you need more defense, leave your armor on. I'm doing it to get a faster roll to get away from certain enemies. Like these dogs. They are fast and they are a pain. And more importantly, there's that guy and that guy. See if he drops down up here. You see us? Allows me to get a plunging attack. For these guys, I would recommend circling around for a backstab. They are tough. That's why they're big like that. They drop raw gems, titanite shards, and they have a rare chance to drop their great axe. This guy over here is just sitting waiting on you to pick up that item. This is a small soul item. This is your shortcut back here later. That item over there we will get. It is throwing knives. Right now we're going to come back up here. And we're going to go after this halberd guy. Backstab him. And as he's standing up, charge up an R2. And it'll kill him in 2 hits. Alright. Before we go up here, I'm going to go ahead and equip our fire bombs. We still have full health, so I'm not overly worried. That guy will immediately shoot fire arrows, and that happens. That is called a Tusk of Man. It is the same thing that Udix Gundyr turned into in that very first boss fight. They are extremely weak to fire, which is why I say you needed to save your fire bombs. You hit them and they flail around because of the fire. So what you want to do is wait until he's done doing all that, hit him again, so you can flail and you can take him down after just 2 fire bombs. Now if you kill him before he turns into that, you will not get this item, or these items. If you kill him before that, then he drops nothing. But if you let him change and kill him, you get a titanite shard and a 3rd ember. This here is your longbow and your standard arrows. Again, you don't have to kill these guys, they are not worth a whole lot. But every soul counts. Because the more souls that we get, no matter what, the more souls we get, the better off we are. Alright, moving on to normal progression. That little side area, like I say, if you want your longbow, if you want the ember and the titanite shard, go over there. It is optional. Alright, we're going to remove our fire bombs so we don't accidentally use them. When we come down here, you've got this guy right here that you want to take out immediately. And then over here on these steps, there is a guy with a lantern. If you let him scream, any of these guys that are glowing orange, and that guy who's not glowing for some reason, they will all swarm. That guy with the lantern is literally there to alert the enemies that you are there. You want to come up here and get your other soul item. And there's a little hidden staircase right here you want to go up. There's another lantern guy. Like I said, any of them that are glowing orange is the ones that he will wake up. There's another one up there. You can see the one that's already up and active. He's going to run around the corner. Take him down. And come up here and grab your binoculars. We don't necessarily need them. I would typically recommend that you sell them. We are going to keep them in this run just so we can look at things from a distance. So I can show you different parts of the levels from farther away and different aspects of what will be happening later. But typically I would recommend just selling. There we go. So once we've taken all of them out, we're going to drop down onto this little ledge here. You can drop all the way down to here, it doesn't matter. But if you do that, then you take fall damage. And we want the gold pine resin. That is very useful on the boss of this area. See now, I always kill, well I don't always, but I'll kill a lot of these guys because they have the chance to drop firebombs. And as I've shown, firebombs can be quite useful. There are pus of man enemies all throughout the game. And here's another soul item. Out here, you've got a lot of enemies that we're not going to worry about at this exact second. We're going to run up here and pick up this ember. Go right away. And then that dragon that just landed will put fire on everybody and kill him. They'll have to breathe a couple times to get that guy in the very back. And we are going to run out here and collect all these items. But, yeah, fire. Fire hurts. Breathe, run. Either way, you're gonna get hit by the fire. If you want the claymore and you want this soul light. And there we go. Go back here. And then we're going to heal. With us getting as much health as we did, we will have more Estus to get a full heal. However, like I said, once we get to the third area, then we won't have that problem. The reason you want to go up that way instead of running straight and going straight over to that side is for this right here. Right now we have a regular battle axe. This is a mimic. If you look closely, you can tell that this is fake. You've got this chain here that's facing the wrong direction. Like anytime that the chain is facing forward like that, it's a mimic. A regular chest will face towards the back. So what we want to do is war cry and start attacking. You don't want to get hit by this. It is strong. You definitely don't want to get grabbed. It will eat. With our health being as high as it is, you will survive it. But you still don't want it. Once you kill it, you get the deep battle axe. It's the exact same weapon, except it does dark damage. But as I said with the fire gem, this is done with a dark gem, and it takes away all your scaling. It does increase your damage, but in my opinion, it's not worth it. That is a Lothric Knight. You really don't want to mess with them. They are tough. And they have moves that can counteract backstabs. If you manage to kill them, they have the chance to drop their armor, embers, and I believe Titanite shards. But beating them isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world. at least not for a beginner. Alright. Now we're going to come up these stairs once you go through there. And we're going to get the second bonfire for this area. And we are going to rest to replenish our essence. Now, we're going to come over here and we're going to grab this Titanite shard. A lot of people, surprisingly, don't know about that Titanite shard, because no one ever explores this top area. They just think, oh, there's a bonfire, that's going to be all that's here. Well, it's not. So, when we come back out here, we want to run out on this rafter and grab 3 more fire bombs. I'm just going to kill that because I can. Alright. Shit. Well, I was going to show you this area later, but I kind of screwed that up, so. I accidentally rolled down that hole and, yeah. Alright. Later on in the game, you'll get something from one of the characters that shows up in Firelink that will open this if you do online play. I think if you use 3 cracked red eye orbs, you can go down there and there's an enemy in the bottom that has a non-cracked red eye orb that you can just use an unlimited amount of times. Well, I'm gonna die to my own stupidity. Alright, so down here you get a mail breaker. And we'll actually have to come back this way, because I don't have the key yet. But this here is a merchant. And we will, like I said, we'll come back and get him in a minute. Right now we have to go back up and head back out. Come over here and we'll grab these throwing knives. And we're going to head back out. Oh, hello. Who's doing just waiting at the top of the ladder? These guys also drop throwing knives, but you can buy them unlimited, so it's not really something that you have to farm for. Alright. I'm going to put my armor back on for a while, because I don't need a fast roll. This here gives you a medium roll. Alright. What we want to do is go straight out this door. We'll run over here, and there's a guy climbing over that. We'll slap him and he'll fall. So these 2, and that one will come up to the ladder. Now what we want to do is we want to climb back up this and come over here to get our other soul item. Like I said, you want to collect as many of those as you possibly can. And before we go down, we're going to re-equip our fire bombs. That item right there is 3 more. And the reason that there's 3 more is this guy. He is another cluster man. So we're going to throw the firebomb, we're going to let him flail. And then we're going to let him do his thing. And we're going to try not to get hit again. And one more fire. I think he's dead. But he was not dead. I went after that. But just like the other one, he will drop a Titanite shard and an ember, so long as you let him change. Oh, he survived. There we go. Alright. Over here, you've got that item, but on the other side of this is a crystal lizard. Now this one does not drop the same thing. It doesn't drop Twinkling Titanite. It drops a raw gem, which greatly increases your damage but again, removes your scaling. Alright, right now, you've got a guy shooting arrows at you. We're going to come hit him. Dodge that one. Hit him again. Then we've got these dudes. Try and keep the family friendly, not put anything out of the way. But you want these other 3 firebombs. We are about to go into an area where I almost guarantee I'm going to get killed. Over here on this little roof, once you drop down, you'll run over here and you'll grab 3 black firebombs. Just a more powerful version of your regular firebomb. Alright. Once we come in here, there's a screamer and a guy shooting arrows. In here we have a thief. He will run out and he will backstab you if you run for this Titanite shard. Over here we have another Lothric Knight. Once again, I really would not recommend fighting them. They have that attack right there, which allows them to avoid backstabs. Which for us really isn't all that good. So when you come in, what did I just do? When you come in that doorway, you're going to immediately turn to the right and come out here to get this green blossom. Go through the barrels and roll down and you will get the Astora's straight sword. Down here there are a lot of enemies and we really need to take them out because there are items down there that we need. Hit the dog with that. That's good. That guy. See, if we go down there while that guy's up there, then he will throw firebombs at us. We need to get out of here. We need to get to an area where we're not getting crowded by everything. Get that. Very much not good. I said this area I was pretty sure I would die in. So if I survive it, then we're already doing better than I expected. See, like I said, they have the chance to drop their great axe, which is a very good weapon. Where'd the halberd boy go? Oh, there he is. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go over here since we're down here. We're going to take out this thief. And in here we have the shield that we're going to use. It's the Silver Eagle Kite Shield. It's 100% fizz block. And while holding it, you can do your war cry. This is not a parry shield. We don't need it at the moment so much as we will later. With all of these big guys, if you can manage to get a backstab off and then you charge up your next attack, like you do a charge R2, then you would be fine. Sitting on this little pedestal, you've got an Estus shard, and then down here you have a dog guarding a key. This key will go back and unlock the cell that merchant was in, which is where we're going to go next. But before we do that, we need to run up. Wait a minute. I'm forgetting. Right here we have a Titanite shard. It's hidden under the steps. Alright, now we're going to go back up here. That Lothric Knight is still wandering around. Right here we have the broadsword. We want to remove the fire bombs, and we will replace it with the homeward bone. We're going to go back to the bonfire that we rested at last. And we're going to run back down to that cell. Up here, down, roll to avoid that. Hang on, get out of my way. This guy will throw fire bombs at you, but I don't care. And we will get Grey Rat out. Just go through his dialogue and say that you will grant his request. He'll give you the blue pure stone ring and he will go to Firelink. We're going to redo this and go back to the last bonfire. Right now we are going to run straight through to the boss. We'll go here, straight over this ladder. Drop off, down here, and then we want to fall on this little roof here. We want to avoid him. That over there is a rapier, and there's 2 embers around this. We're not going to collect them just yet. Right now what we're going to do is just come straight out here. I'm going to go ahead and heal up all this damage we took. And we're going to run straight down here. This is that sword master you can summon since we knocked him off that cliff. Go ahead and put on your gold pine resin. And get close to that door. Get that cutscene. We're going to put the gold pine resin on. War cry. And you just want to keep attacking. So long as you're underneath him like this, you shouldn't take a whole lot of damage. When he starts charging like that, when he puts his head down, you want to roll. While he does this, you just get 2 hits. Okay? Alright, I'm going to rest here. And that is basically the end of this area. At the start of the next video, we'll go back and we'll collect the embers and that rapier. And we'll get the Lothric banner, which will allow us to travel to the next area. But thank you very much for watching. And I hope you enjoy it. And come back and see the next episode.